Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly series. I'm Dion. I'm so excited to finally sit down with Sabrina. It's an interesting story how I met Sabrina. I met her through a friend, Lisa, and met Lisa through another friend at a women's retreat. So finally, we get to meet.
Yeah.
We got to meet at a Lupus support group meeting that I actually told you about, and you came out and I guess you could say the rest is history because we've done
a lot.
we've done a lupus awareness photo shoot together, and now we're doing a series. It Takes a Village, and thank you for being here. And
No problem.
I'm excited for you to share your story because Lord knows we all have a story, and your journey is quite an interesting one, and I'm quite sure that you're going to bless somebody with what you have to share. So tell us a little bit about what's been going on with you. When were you diagnosed with lupus, and what type of lupus?
Okay, I was diagnosed with lupus October 15, 2015.
Wow, 10-15-15.
Yep.
What is up with everybody in this October diagnosis? you're the third person. I was diagnosed, well, and now you're the fourth. I was diagnosed October 18th, 2013.
So I was diagnosed with that in October 15. Well, I was feeling real sick one day and had real bad chest pain, and my chest was hurting real bad, and I was telling them, I was like, my chest is hurting real bad. So she was like, you want to go to the hospital? You want to go to Mercy? I was like, no, let's not go to Mercy. Because Mercy, they didn't do anything for me when I was going to them.
And let me just park right in, not to cut you off. For those of you who are not familiar with the Baltimore, Maryland area, Mercy is one of the big hospitals here.
Oh, okay. So I went to St. Agnes. So they ran tests and everything on me, and just to find out I had fluid around the lungs and heart.
Wow.
And they kept me in the hospital for a week. I also suffer from lymph nodes, so they have to check the lymph nodes to make sure it wasn't cancer. So the lymph nodes, they was huge. I guess they looked like 50-cent pieces, as they would say, and it was like inside my throat and in my underarms.
Okay.
And underneath of my breast.
Mm-hmm.
So they was checking for that. I did so many tests. I did a biopsy done because they wanted to make sure that it wasn't cancer for the lymph nodes. So I did that, and then also they was just doing so many tests. They thought I had sarcoidosis, which I didn't have. Tick, I didn't have that. Lyme, I didn't have that. And then the next test was the lupus. So they did the lupus test, and he was like, we have to ship your blood out to California. I was like, how long is that going to take?
Wait, I never heard of that before.
Yeah, they had to ship the blood out to California because that's where the headquarters at for lupus and stuff like that.
Wow.
So that got shipped out, and he called me back, and he said, you diagnosed with lupus. And I'm like, what the heck is lupus? I never even heard of that.
Oh.
So he told me I had SLE. And ever since then, it's been a battle. I mean, some days I have my ups and downs. But before, I had insurance.
Okay.
And I was getting my medicine like I was supposed to. And then I got allergic to the medicine. So my
Which
doctor, promazone was a steroid. So it was like
prednisone.
Yeah, so I was on that. And I was allergic to it. So my primary doctor told me to stop taking it.
Mm.
So I stopped taking it. And then I lost my job in December. And then, of course,
same year
I got diagnosed. Same year I lost my job in December. So
up and down.
It has been a roller coaster for me, and my body just aches so bad. Some days I can't walk. Some days I have to climb up the stairs. My mom has to help me when I was, go to my mom's house and things like that. It was a battle because I just couldn't go up the stairs. I just had to go backwards.
Like basically like how little babies do to go up and down the steps, you will like slide back.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I need everybody to understand how critical that is. That's why I'm painting the picture for you. Imagine a child going backwards up the steps in order to get up and down the steps. That's not even normal when you think about an adult doing it. So in order to get around, that's what life became for you.
Yeah.
And that's because you weren't able to afford the medication. So, and you weren't even on the medication long enough for it to work, because I just need to point out that lupus medication doesn't work like Tylenol.
Right.
So you need at least a good 5 months of it in your system for it to even take effect. So if you were diagnosed in October and December you lost your job and no insurance, you didn't even have time for it to really work.
Right.
And if prednisone broke you out and you were allergic to it, you really didn't even have time for that to even help you knock the edge off the pain.
And it didn't. And it'd be days I would work, and then I would tell my mom, I was like, man, I can't work. I'm in so much pain. I'm in physical pain. I would go to the ER, and they'd be like looking at me like, why are you in here? Like, you look like you healthy. And I'm like, I'm not healthy. I have lupus. I have all these illness that's going on, rheumatoid arthritis,
Fibromyalgia?
Yeah, fibromyalgia. And it would just attack me so bad. And it's just like when you go to the ER, they look at your veins like, oh, you shoot up. No, I don't shoot up.
Right.
I have a high immune system. I mean, I need something stronger. You know, they give you morphine.
Oh, and you can tolerate morphine?
Yeah.
Good for you. And that's probably why they look at you like that, because especially if you live in the Baltimore area, a lot of people come in and they get morphine, and if they have a high tolerance level, they basically look at you like, oh, you must do drugs.
Yeah.
So you already got the stigma of you don't look sick.
Right.
And you are in pain, excruciating pain.
Yeah.
And then they give you morphine and your body doesn't even react to it. You're still in pain.
I'm still in pain.
Mm-hmm.
And so they asked me, oh, so the morphine, did it give you like a tingling feeling? And I was like, what? A tingling feeling? No, they don't give that to me. They would tell you not to get up. I was getting up, and they looked at me and say, oh, wait a minute, something not right. Why are you getting up? And I was on morphine and Oxycontin and Percocets.
Whoa, time out. Your pain level must have been like...
It's extremely high. I was on morphine when I was 15 because I had back surgery.
Okay.
And of course, with the medicine and everything, your body get used to it. That's what my body has gotten used to.
Right.
It. So they have to give me more drugs in order for me to feel comfortable. But
your pain level is already at a 20. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's on a 20.
Yeah.
So if that is not even reacting to it, I can't even imagine, because when I get in that flare, and I'm literally in bed for like 2-3 days, and I'm like, I can't even imagine what life is like for you, because at least I could take the Plaquenil.
That don't work.
And you know, it's somewhat, it's a catch-22, because prednisone and Plaquenil together kind of helped me knock the edge off. So for that not to work for you, I'm just like, wow.
It don't work.
And the narcotics, that only put me to sleep and had me seriously in a junkie nod for like days and made me throw up. That didn't work for me. So yeah, I was out cold, like literally can't walk, can't move, not because of pain, just because I was that weak. So for it not to even help with your pain level, that got to be miserable.
And it's scary.
It is.
Wow. Gee, so no wonder when you go to the hospital, they give you such a hard time. Do you find that you don't want to go to the same hospitals, because even if that's the closest one to your house, you would travel even further just to see if you could get a different result?
Northwest. I had an episode at work that I couldn't feel my legs and I fell.
Ooh.
And I lost my balance. And they was like, call the ambulance, because she lost her balance. And it's like, can you feel anything? And I was just like, no, I can't feel anything. I had suffered from a real bad migraine. Real bad. Just blur, dizziness, couldn't see nothing. It was just real blurry to me.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, call the ambulance. And I was like, no, I don't want to go to the ambulance because that's a $500 ambulance bill. Like, I got that kind of money for an ambulance bill.
We all go through that, analyzing the money aspect of it.
$768.
So I went to...
And that's, by the way, that's Mom in the background. She over here signifying while we try to tape. We're going to bring her on board so y'all can see what she look like. Mom is her rock, by the way. And we love the fact that we have that type of support system. Y'all going to see her in a minute. She over there in the corner just ad-libbing. Go ahead, Sabrina.
So I went to Northwest Hospital, and I was telling them that what I was allergic to. I told them I'm allergic to vicamycin, and that can kill me.
Me too.
Wow.
That made my hair fall out, and I broke out, and I scratched my back so bad. The white meat, I scratched down to the white meat and didn't even feel nothing.
Yeah, so the vicamycin closes my throat up, so I can't breathe.
Yeah.
So, I was telling them that, and the ER, the ambulance lady was like, yeah, she said she's allergic, but I don't believe she's allergic. So I'm saying to myself, hold up.
That too.
I'm telling y'all that I'm allergic to this, and this can kill me. So you can't have this around me, and you're going to tell me that, oh, she's not allergic. Like, okay, whatever.
Wow.
So she was like, so the lady came in. She was like, the lady said that she was allergic. I said, yes, I'm highly allergic. So I said, anything, vicamycin got anything in it, I cannot take it because it could kill me. And so she was saying, okay, we're going to get you some medicine. I said, this headache is killing me. And she's like, well, how you feeling now? I was like, yeah, I can walk now. I was like, I don't even know why they brought me in here, but I can understand the circumstances.
You stubborn. Go ahead.
I am.
Mm-hmm. I can relate.
So I did that, and they said, well, we're going to give you a Benadryl. I said, a Benadryl? I said, what the Benadryl supposed to do? I said, I don't have an allergy attack. I have a headache. I said, y'all not going to give me nothing stronger? I said, you know what? Just admit me out. I don't want to be here. Well, you should stay. We're going to help you sedate that headache. I said, not with no Benadryl, you not. I said, y'all got some morphine? And she looked like, morphine? What's that for? I said, I don't know. I said, I just need it. I need something to take this headache off me.
With the lupus headaches, they're actually, well, the migraines are actually more excruciating than a regular migraine. So sadly, the ER doesn't know how to treat us. You could go in there with any symptom and they don't know what to do with us. So it doesn't even matter what you go for. I don't want to say it's pointless, but you spend hours there with almost no results of the time. So it's sad, and I'm glad that you're speaking out about it, because it's sad that we go there for, the pain that we're in, and then we wind up leaving frustrated with more pain.
Right.
And a bill.
And a huge bill.
A huge bill. So I'm going to back up real quick. So back in, I finally went to go see my doctor.
November.
No, December. Last year. That was 16.
December 2016?
Yeah, 2016. I finally saw my doctor. December the 7th, 2016. Mm-hmm. So he said, where have you been? Remind you, I went to work. I was fine. I say, when it was time for me to go to the doctors, I was stiff. My body locked up on me. Couldn't take my coat off so they could do my pressure. I was in excruciating pain, and they was like, did you work all day? I was like, I was not like this at work. If that was the case, I would have came home. But my body locked up on me, and I couldn't really move. So they couldn't really do what they wanted to do. But they did do like my pressure and everything like that. And they did do blood work. But he was just like, where have you been? I should put you out on disability right now. And I'm saying to myself, look, I just got back to work. Can't do that just yet. I need this money. I got bills. I'm backed up. And I was like, no, don't do this yet. I was like, well, give me some time. And he was like, you should not be working. Which he's right. I shouldn't be working, but this is my livelihood. I'm a cook. So I get a phone call the next day, that Friday. Phone blowing up, leaving messages, and I'm like, why are they calling me? Like, I already know I'm anemic. What y'all want? So I finally answered my phone, and I was like, yeah, I'm just returning the phone call. I got a urgent message that I need to call y'all. And I said, what's going on? Well, Sabrina, you need to stop what you're doing. You need to get to the hospital. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I need to stop what I'm doing and go to the emergency room. She's like, you don't have no blood circulating through the brain and the heart. And I was like,
Wow.
Okay. And she was like, this is no joke. Like, you don't have hardly no blood in your body. And I was like, ugh. Like, I just booked a gig to work. And she telling me I ain't got no blood in my body. And Lisa, I was talking to Lisa, and I was telling her, she was in the locker room with me, and I was telling her, I was like, yeah, I got a phone call from my doctor telling me to stop what I'm doing and get to the emergency room. And she was like, what you gonna do? I was like, well, I just booked this gig to work. And I said, I'm trying to make this $250 this weekend. And she was like, no, Sabrina, I think you should go to the hospital. She said, because you never know. So I called my mom and told my mom what was going on. So my car was still at work. And I said, damn it, I can't get my car started. This don't make no sense.
Oh,
Wow.
that was the weekend from hell.
So car stopped working, needed a battery, had to call a tow truck to come get the car. I was in the hospital, of course. Tow truck driver, he was drunk.
What?
But the thing about that was, we say no blood in the body. The red blood cell count
Was extremely low.
Right. It was like 5 point something.
Mm-hmm.
And she had to have a double.
So I had to have a double blood transfusion, 2 blood transfusions, 2 arm transfusions. I had that. They just couldn't believe that I was walking and I was breathing and, I was fine. And they was just asking me, how did you make it? I was like, the grace of God and all the people around me, all my loved ones who's no longer here, they protected me. Because he was saying you had 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
Yeah, when your red blood cell count get that low, that's danger zone. Mine got down to, was it 5 or 6? And they're like, ma'am.
But who knows that?
Nobody knows. But because I was going to my regular appointments, that's how they know. See, you weren't going, because you didn't have insurance. Ironically, I was just going for my every 6-week checkup. And it was like, whoa, you need to get back here quick. And they started my iron infusions like boom, boom, boom. Like every week I had to go in for those iron infusions. It wasn't a game. So thank God that you did not go on the gig. It was probably the grace of God that stopped that car from working. That probably got your attention, that made you go and, get that done. Because we wouldn't be doing this.
No.
I wouldn't have met you.
No. So I did that. I was in the hospital for a week. Because I had to make sure everything was good and everything.
Mm-hmm. So that takes a while to actually stabilize everything. And they're not going to dismiss you until those levels are normal, or at least a decent level, because it takes a while to build up your levels anyway. So over time, they're going to monitor that. I'm quite sure they've been monitoring. And since I've been in contact with you, I know there's couple of times you've been back in the hospital to get more blood transfusions. So this is still an ongoing issue that they're monitoring, not just at one time.
No, it's constantly thing. 3 times.
Right. And I'm grateful that Sabrina is so transparent, because a lot of times we sugarcoat stuff and we leave stuff out, and people often say that I make lupus look good, but this is stuff that we don't talk about. We don't get to hear about, when your levels drop dangerously low, and stuff that could happen. When people say you die of lupus, you don't really die of lupus. You die of complications due to lupus, and complications like that can be deadly. So please do not play around. When your doctors say come in, it's not a game. Don't even fool around thinking, oh, I got XYZ, I got time. No, man, just get up and go. Yeah. It's to the point now where it's something. I went home yesterday from an event, and talk about lymph nodes. I was like, whoa, something popped up. My lymph nodes always appear from in the heat too long or from the extreme cold too long. So I was in a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. And when I went home last night, I was like, oh no, let me get a warm washcloth. And I'm like massaging that thing. I'm like, no, we're not doing the ER, because they don't know what to do in the ER. Right. No, we just talked about that. They don't know what to do. So I would have sat there till this morning with no results. And my primary care already schooled me on what to do. And if it gets too bad, then I would have gone in for antibiotics. But, you know, I woke up this morning, I could turn my neck freely, and it was going down. But this is the kind of stuff that we don't talk about as much. And I feel like as a community, a lupus community, we need to share with people what it looks like.
Yeah.
What it looks like, what it sounds like, so that we can become better educated. And you're lucky that your mom is, you know, by your side and understands a lot of the stuff that you're going through. That way she can be not just by your side, she can say, okay, this doesn't look right, this not adding up, let's do XYZ. A lot of people are not that blessed and fortunate to have that. They might have somebody there, but not somebody knowledgeable. So doing this, you're actually blessing somebody else who might be going through something, or their levels might be off and they have no clue what to do. So you're sharing that part, and you share that you're a cook. So how long do you have to stand, and what is that process like? Because we're almost out of time, but what is that process like, daily, because that's your livelihood, and living with lupus?
Well, that's a struggle, because my hands lock up. I drop, just like today, a sheet tray. Ooh. I was like, oh, hands locking up. It's painful, and your coworkers, they know what's going on, but they really don't know. They say, oh, how you feeling today? You be like, yeah, I'm feeling all right, whatever. But you don't want to keep saying, oh, I feel like this, I feel like that. And they just look at you like, she always complaining about something. But it's a struggle every day, because like I say, I'm a cook and I stand up on my feet 8 hours a day. I might, you take a break, but you can't really take a break because it's just too much stuff going on. It's a struggle.
And your feet swell by
sometimes I can't even see my ankles. I'm like, where's my ankles at?
Yeah, I definitely heard you talk about that before, so I wanted to point that out, because that's extremely important. When something that you love doing and something that you've been doing for so long is being threatened and taken away because of a condition that you didn't ask for, it just showed up, and that's important to talk about. It's not that now you have to choose another lifestyle, but you have to choose a new normal. And in that new normal, you have to take care of yourself. That's why I always tell people at the end of every video, take care of you. Because if you don't put that mask on you, you can't do anything else for anybody else. You can't take care of anybody till you take care of you. Mm-hmm. That is so important. Mom, come on around here, because you've been in the background co-signing, signifying, carrying on, getting your praise on. She about to break out in a shout over there. I'm trying to tell y'all, she been showing off. This is Sabrina's mom, and I swear when I met her, she just was so full of joy, and I swear she loved this baby. Y'all know.
I am. Yes, I am. This is all I got.
She loved this baby, and she takes care of her, and I know that it's a blessing. So, one of the things that I always share with people when I meet them in person is, don't forget to love people more than you love things. Lupus has taught me that. Lupus has taught me that, because I used to love on people, but I also love the things around me. Now I don't even care about the stuff around me that much, because I could lose everything around me, but if I still have that joy and that peace within me and the people who love me, I could start everything all over again.
She's wonderful.
You can build your life all over again. So having somebody like this in your corner, don't ever take her for granted. I'm telling you, it's a blessing. I've only known her a short time, and I'm like, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. She was like, yeah, I got you, girl. I'm like, man, she my mama too. I done added like 10 more mothers. I don't even know half those people. I'm like, Mom, I got another mother. She was like, girl, get out my face. She's like, where do you go and meet these people? I was like, I don't know. People just be giving me their mothers too. They share. I was like, I share you with everybody on the block. And I've been doing that for 20-something years. She's like, yeah, you're right. So it's about time that I, share other people. But I'm grateful for the community. That's why I call this series, It Takes a Village. Because it takes a village to get through daily stuff with a disease like that. You cannot do it by yourself. And I'm sorry for the people who are really having to struggle on their own. I was one of those, and I wasn't bold enough to ask for help. So if you're one of the people who are struggling with any of the conditions, whether it's lupus or fibromyalgia or Sjogren's, whatever the disease is, ask for help. Let them tell you no. At least your conscience is clear that you ask for help. I was too scared to ask because I'm like, they're not going to help me. They're too busy. But the moment I opened my mouth and asked somebody, I got the help I needed. God will show you the right ones to ask. Though they will show up. And when those people show up, just be grateful and accept that help. So that's something I learned. I swear, today I saw this man, real quick before we go. He had a sign that says, "Weed money, please." That just blessed my whole entire life. I don't think y'all understand how that sign blessed my life, okay? To y'all saying, oh, that man said, the sign said, "Weed money, please." He is bold. You got to be bold to write a sign that said, "Weed money, please." Okay, first and foremost. If you're judging that man, you missed the lesson in this. I'm trying to tell you. He's bold.
He's going through something.
He believes in asking for what he wants. And he believes that he's going to get it. And guess what? He got it. People were stopping and giving this man money for his weed. I was like, I'm going through this thing called life all wrong. Because I'm not bold enough to ask for what I want. And clearly, I don't believe that I'm going to get it, so I don't ask. This man believed.
And he got it.
And he's getting it. Sitting outside with his dog and his son. Getting that weed money. Look, by the way, I'm not advocating for nobody getting no weed. I'm just saying the lesson of that he taught me today.
Ask for what you want.
Ask for what you want. Be bold enough to ask for what you want. And prepare to get it. I swear that blessed my whole entire life today. So if you don't learn nothing else, ask for help. Ask for help. And be prepared. Your doctor told you you should have never stayed away that long. You weren't bold enough to ask for help.
Well, that's
what that came down to.
When we were in the hospital in December, she was in there for a week in a private room, St. Agnes. And when we went into the doctor's office out here in Catonsville, I said, I gave you my last $50 or whatever it was. I don't have money for blood. Don't worry about it. We get to the hospital. The day she's being discharged, I asked, who's going to pay for this week here in this hospital? It's got to be about $25,000-$30,000.
Right. Come on this side. Can everybody see you over there talking? We sitting here looking still.
I went to get her a sandwich. I come back. The nurse handed her an envelope. The bill had been wiped clean. They gave her 6 months. She could come back as often as she wanted or needed. And the bill would be taken care of. She was deemed a charity case. That was at St. Agnes. Never happened before. Because I made it clear, every nurse that came in, we don't have no money. We have no insurance.
Because she wasn't working and no insurance.
Who's going to pay for this? They said, don't worry about it. So you're right.
Ask it. I swear, I'm telling you, that man signed. I said, I'm going to go home and get my whole life in order. I'm going to write down everything that I need to ask for from this day forward. And I'm going to ask folks.
Because if you don't ask,
you won't get it.
You won't get it.
A closed mouth don't get fed. That's Jay-Z. I'm going to end with a little Jay-Z.
All right.
I'm going to end with a little bit of Jay-Z. Closed mouth don't get fed. Y'all have a blessed one. Until next time, remember to take care of you, love on you radically, unapologetically, and always tune in every Thursday. Make sure you subscribe. That way you get the, Lord, I'm stuck on stupid for a second. Make sure you subscribe so that you'll get the updates when all the videos come out. And please share it with others so that they'll be blessed the same way you've been blessed. Take care.
Bye.